back in my garage. What we got today, not a really good way to introduce a video, I know. It's your boy Vanish. Audio stuff. What we're gonna be doing on my truck, I'm gonna show you guys a setup that I have currently that is bugging me and has been bugging other people on TikTok whenever I upload my videos or like my little shorts of what music I'm playing, some bass test. But today I'm gonna be installing an LC2i. So with this bad boy, there's gonna be an active output or line output converter. What I have is a passive, so it's not always sending that full range of power, you know, to your amps and stuff like that. Let me get up close real quick. So there's that, boom. That's what we're gonna be installing. The project that I had for this truck was gonna be, I don't know how many channel system, but I was gonna install a EQ on it. I just still don't have the speakers to it. So I got the components. I got the 7-band EQ. Let me show you guys. Boom. I got this going on. And then this amp is gonna be for the tweeters. I'm gonna have this power the front tweeters, which is my dash speakers out in the corner in front of my truck. The two up front, and then two set of tweeters up front, and then another set of tweeters in the rear. Now I'm gonna add with my sound bar, basically, on the back of my truck. And then this thing right here. Damn, this thing is huge. It's pretty nice. This is gonna be for all my speakers, for my sound bar that I'm gonna have on top of my truck. And the one that's gonna power all my door speakers. So it's something, you know, cheap. I could have gone all Scar audio, but it's some things that I already had and some things that I bought right away when people were selling them off Facebook Marketplace. And I was like, I wonder. I wish I had a test bench. Give me 1 second. I wish I had a test bench so I can test all of these amps, see what they can power or how much power they can hold. And really, you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure this out too. It's really confusing when it comes to car audio, but we're gonna figure it out together today on my truck. So really, I have everything all pretty much pre-installed. I'm just gonna be cleaning up the wiring system. I don't have an amp rack yet. That's something in the works. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get everything done, everything here, so I can make a big old YouTube video or put parts of the YouTube video. But so far, I got the components, just waiting on speakers, another battery, and I might change the head unit. But for now, since I can't stand my ears, we got to change this, my line output converter. And that's what we're going to be doing today, guys. So stay tuned, like and subscribe. I know it's a long intro, but we're going to get straight into my truck. Let me show you what I got going on. So for starters, this is how I have my setup. I know it's kind of crazy. I got to change, I got to have these speakers underneath. And I do have the box now. I did buy the incorrect one, but I'm selling that one right now. So if anybody wants it, just go into my Facebook. But I did find the correct one. The one that actually goes for, see if it focus. Come on, there we go. For the double cab. This, I gotta buy a separate set of subs, some shallow subs. I'm thinking not going with Scar, thinking like going with JL, but we'll see, we'll see. But that's what I got going on. Yeah, all the wires are in there. Let me take out the subs so you can see the setup. Boom, subs are out. Let me lift the seats. Bang. I gotta go to the other side. Boom. That's my epicenter sound stream, 8XW, 12W digital bass machine. And then my Scar Audio, 15 watt RMS, RP 1500. And that's the kind of mess that I got going on in my truck. The cool thing that I already did to my truck, let me show you guys. Let me show you guys. The little DIY I did. I think I've already explained this in another video, but I cut these from an inch from the top of that hole all the way down here. Some of the latches are all the way back here, and it measures out like almost 2 to 3 inches. So for it to clear that latch right there, I cut an inch off of it so I can access the back area. This is where I'm gonna mount the amp rack. So once I have everything, like I said, once I have all my components in and everything, I'm gonna mount my amp rack here. Up here is gonna have the sound bar with 4 more speakers and the 2 set of rear tweeters that I want to power up there. So that's gonna be there. I don't know. There's been a lot of changes in my mind of how I want this done. And each day, my mind and choices that I want to do to this truck always changes. So right now, I'm just trying to make it better, sound better with what I have. So that's why we're going to be installing the LC2i. So let's get started without wasting any more time, because I want to get this done and go fishing, guys. It rained here in Michigan last night. It might rain again, but I gotta get this done so I can listen to music on my way for salmon fishing. All right, guys, let me get to it. This is my passive line out converter, and yes, look at the mess I have. I gotta clean this up, use heat shrink, solder some things. But yeah, let me get to it. Let me stop wasting time. Let me go disconnect my battery so I can disconnect these without any issues and go from there, guys, because I'm in a crunch time and I got a lot of things to do, like go fishing. I want to go fish for salmon. There's that. And where I wired it up is from the main nut on my Silverado, on my 2018 Silverado, from there. And then the fuse block that I have it on is 150 amp fuse. And from there, the wire runs all the way across. Let me show you. Into this rubber boot. Hold up. There you go. So from all the way there, right there, into this little rubber boot, which comes down from down here. As you can see, the red wire from there a little bit from the camera. Then I just kind of patched it up from here. That's why it's not really a full install on how to do your subs on your car. Really, it's plain and simple. You can find these videos on YouTube. When I gotta rewire everything, obviously I'm gonna put out a brand new video on how to do it, how to add extra battery and everything. But just for the time's sake and me just trying to put out videos for you guys and to grow my channel, this is what we're gonna do. So I've already run the wires through down here into my Scar amp back here. So got the ground, got the power, and then the ground into a just where the spare tire removal tools are at. Yeah, that made sense. And Obviously for the remote turn on, let's see if I can pop this off without breaking anything. Oh yeah. There we go. For the remote power turn on, I just used a micro dual tap in fuse. And these take the micro, the minis, which is pretty cool. So let me put this back on. Hope I'm putting it in the right spot. Did it go there? Oh shit. Hold on, let me put it in the right spot. Yeah, there. There we go. And from there, the remote turn on. So I'm gonna keep the remote turn on the same. So I know the LC2 gives you the option where you could just connect the speakers wires into the LC2 and it would just power on. But really, I want to make sure each time that whenever I turn on that key, I better make sure the car better make sure to turn on every single thing. I don't want to rely on a component to turn on all my components. So I'd rather have the car say, hey, buddy, you got to turn on. Start. Boom. Now let's go to the back. So let's begin the removal. I'm going to remove my scar ramp, remove this, just kind of reorganize everything. So let me get to it. One thing I didn't mention or care to mention is where I stole the power from. So where you can ask ChatGPT, a lot of cars have the battery in the back and then the speakers from the back. The power you want to steal it from is from mid-range speakers. And where I grab my speaker level, we're from these pillars on the side. So there's a lot of great tools. If for some odd reason your car doesn't pop up, talk to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a useful tool to use when it comes to car audio. If you feed it the right information, then really you shouldn't have any wrong answers when you're asking what you're asking for. But so I already, like I said, I already did pretty much all the work. So I grabbed the speaker level from over here, from the pillars, and I brought them over underneath the car into my passive input converter. And that's how I wired everything in. Now I'm going to be wiring everything in on this side. And now I got to get a couple more tools. But till I do that, I'm going to take this off. Trying to remember what I did. Okay, this was the remote. I'm going to have to redo my wiring system. Yeah, I'm going to have to steal the power from here. Okay. Let me do something real quick. So what I did was obviously twist my wires, put the ground and power on. I'm just figuring out where I'm going to place it. Where's my crimper? I had to reroute the speaker wire signal that I'm stealing from. And I found a little spot underneath the carpet going here. Not much wire going in, and I want to make sure everything looks clean, so next time I gotta service it or somebody else does, you don't have to go through the issue of what I'm going through right now. So gonna put these speaker signal wires in. The green one is for positive, red one. Damn it, my screwdriver. Never mind. I got it. It's nice that I got to color code these wires so that I know what's going with what. So, boom. Pretty much I almost got it wired up. I just got to work on that side with the power wire. I'm going to daisy chain the remote out into there and then going into the SCAR amp. Um, I did the remote in so I could power on everything, and it looks more organized than what it did in the beginning. A lot more organized. So let me ground my LC2i and my epicenter, so then we can power on all this and you guys can hear it. So let me finish this up, but this is how it's currently looking. So the way I'm running it, obviously the remote out in here, remote in here, and then remote in here. And then power, I'm gonna steal the power from here for this, or I might just wire it up right here as well. Just kind of daisy chain, steal the power from the epicenter into there. It's fused, so if I steal the power from here, I'll be protected from the fuse as well. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let me be right back. So pretty much I got it all wired up now. A lot cleaner than what it was in the beginning. Grounds right here, and then another ground for the epicenter and the LC2 right there. So the LC2 is complete. Now I just got to put RCA power through and go from there, guys. So let me do that, and I'll show you what you really got to watch for when doing this. So what I want to do differently is that obviously the connection to these guys, I want them to be pretty close to each other, so I don't have much of a mess. There's that. I put some zip ties. Should be a lot better. Gotta remember R is red. L is white. There we go. I know, like I said, once I have an amp rack, everything else is gonna look a lot better and cleaner. But for the sake of the things that I have, we gotta work with what we got. So I don't want to get any kind of distortion from it grabbing from the signal, grabbing from the power or whatever. So there's that. I gotta add a fuse here before we start. Just making sure this will reach to where they're gonna be connected to. Looks like it. All right. So now I'm gonna power everything on now. We got everything all wired up. What I'm gonna do is test how much I'm putting out here. So I'm gonna turn all my knobs down. I should be doing this with a screwdriver. I probably play a 40 hertz tone. Yeah, I'm gonna play a 40 hertz tone. Adjust the gain here first on my before I even touch this, I'm gonna set the gain on this, so I know I'm pushing the most out of my input converter. And I'll show you guys how to do that too. It's a bit confusing because I'm obviously learning as well. So the Acubase, I feel like I might only turn it up just a bit. I'll probably leave it at 12 o'clock. Just so. I'm going to leave the main off, and then I'm going to adjust the bass. So let me go do that right now. Yeah, let me connect everything. We can go from there. I don't have the controller to adjust the bass. That's going to come in later. I don't think I need it. So I think I should be fine with that. So let me put the battery back on and everything and see what happens. So we got power and everything. I don't know why my camera turned off. Well, I just tuned my LC2 to a 35 hertz tune. Right now, I already got that situated. Man, I should have showed you guys how to do it. It was shining the light when it was going into maximize mode. So got that all situated. I was playing a 35 hertz tune. Now I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna be tuning up the amp. I already got my wires with my multimeter leads. So now it's really adjusting this. Hold up, let me talk to ChatGPT. All right, I'm gonna play the 40 hertz tune. What I gotta get my gain at, the voltage has to be reading around 37 volts. So for me, it's gonna be like around 38, 37. I'm gonna set it around 37 volts. So I'm gonna play this 30 hertz tune.
3, 2, 1.
Hold up. Pause. I'm not getting good connections here.
Cada copa que te andas tomando, yo la siento que me arde en el pecho.
Well, that's how it looks. Just real quick, that's how it looks. Pretty messy, I know, right? I gotta put it in the back of my truck. But that was it, guys. Like I said, let me clean up and I'll be right back. I got everything all set up, all tuned. Man, it sounds really nice. The one thing I'm worried about is that for some odd reason, if you guys can let me know down in the comments, my speaker wires coming out of my amp feel way too hot. I don't know how to explain it. Like when you touch them, they're like warm. I don't know if that's normal. I never felt speaker wire like that. I might have to get bigger speaker wire. I think that's the issue. I think I'm running way too much power with the thickness of that speaker wire. I'm gonna have to look into get a little bit thicker. Instead of 16, I might get 14 gauge wire. But I'm gonna show you guys what it sounds like. Let me put a song real quick. All right. What do you guys think? What do you guys want to hear? A corrido? I'm gonna put Cada Copa, Carlos y Jose.
Yo la siento que me arde en el pecho. Sé bien que ella tiene la culpa por no haber.
It's shaking the whole house. I'm sorry, neighbors. I'm sorry, neighbors, but it's shaking the whole house. Hold up. That's the epicenter. So that's the epicenter. My amp. That. I'm just touching them right now. Seeing how it sounds like. So enough of that. Guys, the whole house is shaking. I'm gonna record a couple TikToks before I get in trouble with with my neighbors. But the whole house is shaking. So one more time. Boom, 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 boom. So if you want me to go over it a little bit more slower, hopefully the video does explain what I did. I'm not a good person to explain either. Obviously, as more installs I do on audio system on any cars or even on my own truck, obviously I'm gonna have better turns and better explanation for you guys. But that's it. That's how you really add how to add subs, epicenter, and an amp. That's pretty much it. I can go over the details later on when I actually sit down. But as of right now, I'm very happy how it turned out. Like I said, I don't know why those wires run a little too hot. So if you guys can let me know down in the comments, please. Or if you got a better setup or a better idea for this kind of setup, I am gonna put a 4-channel amp for the rest of my door speakers and the soundbar that I really want to get. But that'll be for later on until I get a little bit more money. I'm not made of money, but that's how it goes. That's the budget base build. Honestly, don't get those passive line output converters from Walmart. Save up, spend your money on the right stuff so you don't have to suffer. I was getting made fun of on TikTok. So fuck you guys now. Now I got my shit straight. Now I can blow off my water bottle on the TikToks that I've been showing. Roll the clip. That's pretty much it, guys. I'm pretty happy. Hopefully, once I put in that 4-channel amp, obviously I'm gonna record it, but I gotta upgrade my battery system and my alternator. Now I'm gonna kill this truck. But I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of my afternoon, guys. I'll see you guys later. Vanish is out. Peace. Like and subscribe, and I love you guys.